We are live on College Band Radio, all college band, all the time. A happy Thanksgiving to all of you. In this, what is this, our 8th episode now? We've done 8 of these? We've done a lot of these now in our first season with college marching, which we're really excited about. But this week, we kind of wanted to change things around. You know, we wanted you guys to ask us some questions. So we asked you guys on Twitter and on Instagram to send us some questions that we can answer during the podcast. With Thanksgiving coming up, I wanted to ask everyone, what is everyone thankful for this year?
I'm thankful that we actually had something that resembled a band season this year.
I'm thankful that, you know, although there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, you know, we're still here, you know, trying our best to keep going on. Hopefully, you know, things will start to turn up pretty soon.
Yeah, me too. I'm thankful for the smart people that figure out the science behind the vaccines. Like Jason, I'm thankful we kind of got a band season. I'm thankful that you and I managed to get through the whole semester because my semester ends tomorrow, or I guess it'll have finished Wednesday because you guys will hear this on Friday.
Yeah, I'm thankful for, you know, like I didn't get a band season this year, but like, you know, my family's been able to stay healthy and safe, and anything had been different, I wouldn't have been able to like meet you guys.
That's sweet.
I was thinking about that the other day, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, same thing. I don't know. I'm really thankful. I know this sounds cliche, but I'm really thankful for like everything. I feel like this year has been really hard, but I've tried to take everything as like a learning experience. But like Jason said, definitely like having a bit of band, even if it like was cut short, it was modified. It was really like such a blessing. And then really like all the new things I've done this semester, all the new people I've met have been really cool.
I think for me, among the craziness that's gone on this year, I think the thing that I'm most thankful for is honestly doing, you know, stuff like this, doing this podcast. I didn't think, I mean, when me, Craig, and Jason started this off, when I made that first post in the Big Ten Marching Band Facebook page and just said, hey, does anyone want to do this podcast over the summer? I didn't think anyone was going to respond to it. Luckily, Michael at College Marching gave us the opportunity to continue to expand, get a partnership. We got 3 new co-hosts on. And honestly, this has been so much fun. And I know that we're not done season 1 yet, but it's just so awesome to see how this stuff, how this is, you know, blown up and how this has flourished and expanded. And it's just, I'm thankful to have met all of you guys. I mean, you guys are awesome. You guys have made this podcast what it is. And I'm so thankful to everyone that's, you know, that's been listening over these last couple months.
My pessimistic side is like, I'm thankful for BYU being out of the college football playoff conversation.
Yeah.
I am thankful that tomorrow you and I finally will have sports for the first time in 263 days.
She's not counting, by the way.
Yeah, not that I'm counting. I haven't been counting, of course.
We are extremely thankful for the college for the college basketball season. It is quite great. More Thanksgiving stuff since it is coming up. What are some traditions that you guys have on Thanksgiving? Things that you do, people that you're with, just what's going on in each one of your lives around Thanksgiving?
I think in a normal year, I think like a lot of people, we just kind of spend it with family. This year, obviously, we're just doing it with immediate family to be safer during all the COVID. My favorite tradition is actually chocolate lasagna because it uses Jell-O pudding. And what you do is you take chocolate graham crackers and you layer it with white chocolate Jell-O pudding, and you layer it all up, and then you add whipped topping on top, and then like bits of Heath bars or whatever on top of that.
Every other year, I'll go down to Maryland actually and visit some of my other family members that live out in the mighty state of Maryland.
I usually like around this time, every Black Friday is usually the Apple Cup. So I'm usually doing that. That's my kind of thing around the like weekend for band and stuff. And then for band, we'll do like, depending upon like what the postseason's gonna look like, we do this thing called Pick Pals, where it's kind of like Secret Santa. And then it's like within the section. So it's not necessarily for Christmas, but it's like an end of season thing. Like for my family, I usually go down south to my grandparents' house. Not happening this year, but I think we're doing a Zoom call, so I'm excited.
Yeah, one of my favorite traditions is, you know, it's probably pretty cliche, but you know, just waking up early, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. and then you get that. You get the smell from the kitchen coming over of all the turkey and stuffing and all that good stuff. Then you also get like all the family members screaming at each other because I mean, what is Thanksgiving without at least like 5 major fights? But we always forget about the things that really make the holiday so special, which is all of the different fights that everyone has with their family and then just gets past it because it's like, all right, well, now the food's in front of us. Now we can shut up and just start eating. And that just like change of attitude, that is my favorite Thanksgiving tradition.
Like it's because everybody's hangry.
Exactly.
That's the key. Everybody's hangry.
And then everyone's drunk. So my Thanksgiving, I assume it's probably a bit different. So for those who don't know, I'm not from here. So me and my family were from England. So we don't usually like celebrate Thanksgiving a lot, but normally what we do is we do go over to my grandma's house. And my favorite thing is probably like usually I'll stay the night before at her house, at my grandma's house, and then I'll help her like prep and cook. And then like Craig said, on Thanksgiving morning, I'll usually watch the parade with my grandpa because he's really big into bands. So we'll just sit there and kind of watch the bands and judge the bands. And then probably just like cooking with my grandma. That's always really like genuine and very like endearing to me. And then usually a lot of my family doesn't get to come over. Whenever they do, that's usually lots of fun. Because if they do, it's like 20 people in like one small house. And it's kind of hard to maneuver around. But it's really nice having everyone there, especially the kids. If there's no kids, then I don't really want to go. Because I just sit at the kids' table and play with them.
So a couple of mine. So we usually go over to my aunt's house, who lives in just outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. We'll go there and we'll have Thanksgiving dinner there. I would have said going to watch the parade, but in recent years, my mom has been a balloon handler in the Thanksgiving Day parade in Philadelphia. So we've gone down to the parade in Philly and we've just like hung out there. I was actually in it a couple years in high school. So that's probably my favorite one other than watching football. But yeah, no, that's great. Next Thanksgiving one, because we got 2 more Thanksgiving things and then I want to open the floor to anyone with questions. What is everyone's favorite Thanksgiving meal, food, dish, anything like that?
Listen. Mac and cheese is one of the best Thanksgiving foods.
All right, I'm gonna get some hate for this one because apparently this isn't a normal thing. You know what? But brisket has a very nice spot on my family's Thanksgiving table because it. All right, we're not talking like Kansas City or like Texas brisket. We're talking like New York Jewish brisket.
Oh, okay.
Being Jewish, it has a place at every holiday's table, and it is delicious. You know, you guys may enjoy all the stuffings and all the mashed potatoes and whatnot. Maybe Jason wants his mac and cheese, but you know what? Just give me a nice slice of brisket and I'll be happy. Sure, I'll still take the other stuff too. I'll still take it.
Mine is like a combination of several things. So you start out with the mashed potatoes. Get a lot of mashed potatoes in your plate. And then you add, we usually actually don't have gravy. I don't know why. We just usually don't. But you take your mashed potatoes, you add some butter, you add a little salt, add a little pepper, and you put corn on top of it. And that
She is from Iowa.
Yep.
They put corn on everything.
The Iowan.
They just put corn on ice cream.
It's the best combo in the world. I will die on this hill. I will die defending this matter. Like literally, your life will change when you put corn on your mashed potatoes. Like sweet corn, like don't like just put a whole hunk on there. That would be weird. Don't do that.
So let me tell you.
Gosh. Okay. Well, every holiday, my family makes this chocolate peanut butter pie with like Adam's peanut butter, and it's like a holiday thing. So like for Christmas too, and she'll make like 3 or 4 depending upon how much we're traveling and like bringing pies places. But it's so good. It's like my favorite thing because I can't have pecan pie because I'm allergic. So it's usually like I'll have a little bit of pumpkin and a little bit of chocolate peanut butter. And then when I tell people about it, they're like, oh, that sounds really good. So I think that's my favorite. But yeah, a lot of good staples too. I'm vegetarian, so like some holes there and what's normal and what's not. But like, I really
Oh, that
love
means
that chocolate
meat's
peanut butter
definitely
pie.
on the menu, just like turkey,
mac
ham,
and
all that
cheese is
good
still
stuff.
on.
Mac and cheese,
Mac and cheese.
mashed potatoes. I don't know, other
Rolls.
things.
That's all bomb.
Other
So
carbs.
good.
I love carbs.
So my favorite is probably the pie. If not, I really like brown gravy. It's just so good. It's just delicious. I could have it by
Brown's
itself.
Gravy's so good.
But definitely the pie. I love pie. Sometimes that's like all I eat for like 3 days. It's just pie.
Let me think.
Completely acceptable.
Any specific types of pies?
So my favorite, I'm so glad you asked. So my favorite type of pie is warm cherry pie with cold vanilla ice cream. That's definitely that's probably like my top 3 favorite foods. That with lasagna and mac and cheese. But that's my favorite. If not, then like apple pie or pumpkin pie.
So
Pie.
mine is mashed potatoes, stuffing. Love stuffing. Mashed potatoes with gravy, of course. And definitely pecan pie. Oh my god, that is just
Fun.
whatever. I
say
don't care
pecan.
how it's pronounced. You say pecan, you're out. You're just cut for the podcast. And then our last thing, which we've debated heavily before this podcast, we are going to. So the question is, describe each section of Marching Man as a different Thanksgiving dish, and we have figured out all of these, and we're gonna run through them. It's going to be fantastic. So Savannah, you're the one who's starting. So
I'm sorry if we hurt your feelings. All love. All love.
This is
We'll
all
give you
love.
some
Yes.
context. Maybe not.
Yeah, like I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, what are the alto saxes gonna be? And I was like, okay, it's probably something like pretty classic that like people like. And I thought immediately I thought of the Thanksgiving Pillsbury cookies, the ones you get in the box that have like the little turkey on them, just because I was like, that's a staple, you know? Like they're like dependable, like people like them. So I was like, might as well. I think so. I think the alto saxes are those little cookies.
All right, I'll go next. I'll say the baritones, definitely the gravy of the band, because they're very their parts aren't always the most exciting, but if you were to take it out, it doesn't quite sound right. It's missing that little extra flavor.
Sorry, tenor saxes, but I'm pretty sure you guys are like that extra that salad fork that they sometimes include. It's it's kind of there. A lot of the times people don't use it. There's multiple utensils, and they're the extra fork. Like they're there. Sometimes you use them, and it's always helpful when they're there. But sometimes you just don't need it.
Maybe like if it was, maybe it would be a little bit more kind if it was like a butter knife. They were like a butter knife
Yes.
for like the rolls, a little bit more useful.
They're perfect in
Okay, so I have the drumline. I said the drumline was the turkey. They're such an essential part of the band, and really like if the drumline's off, everything is off. And I love the drumline, and Thanksgiving is about turkey, so.
All right, and that brings us to the trombones next, who I believe are the stuffing. They have extremely exciting parts, and they're just fun people. I mean, they're just.
I'm next. I have the piccolos. I said they're like a combination of both green beans and green bean casserole.
So I had the mellophones. I think that the mellophones are like rolls because you always forget how great they are, but they are so essential to everything. And like anytime you go to Thanksgiving, like you're not thinking about it because the rolls are just always there. And then like if they weren't there, you'd be like, oh my gosh, where are the rolls? So like that's how the mellophones are. Like we just need the mellophones.
Okay, so I was thinking, I picked sousaphones because I wanted to like, I don't know, that one called to me. So I was like, okay, I was thinking like sousaphones, they're pretty unique. They're like pretty cool people. So I was like, okay, what's like a pretty unique Thanksgiving dish? So I chose the sweet potato casserole because like, you have like the sweet potatoes and then on the top is like marshmallows, which personally I never had it. So I don't know if it's good or not, but I don't know. It just seems like it made sense to me.
It was a gut feeling.
Yeah, it was a gut feeling.
I picked the trumpets. I'm a clarinet player, so you can guess my opinion on trumpets. So for the trumpets, I picked the mashed potatoes. One, I don't like mashed potatoes.
Hey,
Two,
hold on.
two, it's because people think that the mashed potatoes are the best part, but obviously they're not. They always think they're the best, but they're not. And then and somebody also said on the podcast, I won't say who, they also said the trumpets might be your obnoxious uncle. You know that one? We all know. They're that one. I trumpets are cool. I have a lot of trumpet friends. So
oh,
you know,
do you?
it's the majority.
So I'm up next. I had the clarinets. So I picked the other two woodwind instruments that weren't mine, other than the tenor saxes. And I said that they were pumpkin pie.
Alrighty, well, next up we have the drum majors. Another not quite as essential as the directors, but like they're still pretty important. I'm gonna give them the plate. They carry the band. They kind of lead the way, and
Greg, the plate is pretty important.
The plate's pretty important.
Oh, okay. I'm up next. So I had the guard, and for the guard, I said they were the place setting and or the cornucopia because they added the flair to the entire table. So like you're looking at it, you're like, you know what? There's not a lot going on here. And then you add in the place setting, you add in the cornucopia, and you're like, wow, it looks pretty festive. It looks pretty Thanksgiving-like. So that's what I'm saying the guard is.
So next up is the dance team, and I chose this one to be like mac and cheese because I don't know about a lot, but I know there are some schools that don't actually have like a dance team that's part of the band itself. It's mostly just from the university. Shout out to our very own Gold Duster dance team, by the way. And when it's there, it's like one of the best parts.
Okay, so I had for our last one was the feature twirlers. I said that they were the pecan pie. Because pecans are like really sweet, especially pecan pie. And definitely like our twirlers at Mizzou. Shout out to all three of them. They're always super sweet, and they're always like trying to, because I do our photographs, and they're always trying to help me out doing that. But they're also very essential. I think like a pecan pie is very essential to a Thanksgiving meal. So they're always there.
And just a translation, she means pecan pie.
She means
pecan.
Yeah.
She means the
Pecan.
word spelled PECAN.
So there you guys have it. There's kind of our breakdown of what we think each section is for Thanksgiving meals. We hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving. And coming up next, we're going to get into some of the questions that you guys so kindly submitted on our Instagram page. All right, so welcome back. Now we're going to get, as we asked on some of our social media pages, we wanted you guys to kind of submit your questions that you had for us after sticking through about 8 episodes of the show, which we super appreciate you guys doing. So one of the first questions we got on our Instagram was actually, how do you make the podcast work since we're all in different places? So that's what I'm going to kind of answer. Obviously, if you guys have watched us or listened to us for a little bit, you know that we're all doing this on Zoom. We all also work Audacity into it. So we're recording a video on Zoom, but also recording our audio separately in case our Wi-Fi drops, which of course is a thing that happens. And then after we've kind of done that, I go in and I download the video from Zoom. I take all the different audio tracks that everybody kindly sends to me, and then I stick it all into Premiere and just edit it so it goes into one cohesive thing. Anytime our audio sounds very crisp, it's because Craig did it. Craig is great at cleaning up audio. So then we do some work in getting everything cleaned up and nice and condensed, and then we push it out to everybody on Fridays. Usually we record Sunday nights, and sometimes that shifts a little bit. Like tonight, we're recording on a Wednesday just for kicks. So yeah, that's kind of how our podcast, that's how it like works and how it's been working. So
the next question we had was, what schools have your favorite or your least favorite uniform? My favorite uniform I've seen is probably the Sonic Boom uniform. I really like their traditional styles of marching bands, and the blue looks really good. Also, whoever does their social media, it's amazing. It's really good and talented. But I love like each little piece of their uniform. If you don't know what it is, I'd look it up. My least favorite is Kansas with the lowercase K. Only way you could say it. That's what we do in Missouri. Anytime you have to spell out Kansas, you have to do it with a lowercase k. Or if you spell out KU, it has to be lowercase k, uppercase U.
Good to know.
Fun fact for you, Craig. That's how deep it is. Okay. Definitely Kansas. Just as a Mizzou fan, I hate Kansas a lot, but I just don't like their uniforms. They're very old, and they have a Jayhawk, so it's just disgusting.
I think that if I had to pick a favorite uniform, I was gonna say Jackson State. I love the Jackson State uniform. I think they're so cool. I really love the Auburn uniforms. Like whenever I look at different uniforms, Auburn's like their colors together just look so crisp and clean. All their like pictures on social media, they just look super, super cool. So like the navy blue and orange they just work. I might get some heat for the one I'm about to say. This might be a controversial take.
Do it. You won't do it.
I do not like the Ohio State uniforms.
Okay, I'm not the only one then.
I'm not a fan of the Ohio State uniform. Jason is losing it. Goodness, there's another.
And this is the last that we hear of Jason.
I also really do not like the LSU uniforms.
Okay, no, you're cut. No,
really
you're cut. Get out.
I just
Oh, goodness gracious, Hannah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it in a way.
They're colors.
I know, but I just I don't like the edging where it's like I'm like making the design with my hands, but like it's just like I just don't like the edging on it. I think the edging is not cute. I don't really like the color of yellow they used. I just all around do not like them. I'm sorry, LSU.
That is not correct.
I'm gonna okay. Disregarding everything Hannah just said, I don't. This might be controversial too, but honestly, Hannah was very controversial. But I really like the Nebraska uniforms.
Ooh.
I think
they are like the Super Target uniforms.
They have they have the traditional, like they have the nice traditional look, and they also have capes. And I do like capes a lot, but I don't know if you guys can guess this, but my least favorite is the Oregon Bands.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that
that.
would have been one of mine if I did.
The pajama suit.
I will say I do like Ohio State and I do like LSU. Hannah doesn't know what she's talking about.
I kind of say the same thing.
I think those uniforms are timeless and they're gorgeous.
They're something.
I really like the I like just in general like more classic like clean cut uniforms. Like I do like the Ohio State ones. I like the Cal ones. Actually, Cal and Ohio State have really similar uniforms if you've never seen them. But particularly, I really like the style of like Shako that they have with the feather plume. I think like Michigan has the same style and Michigan State has the same style. I don't know. It's just something about it. I just like really like it. It just looks really nice. And same thing for like least favorite. I'm not a huge fan of the Oregon ones, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Oregon, so I don't know if anybody's surprised about that one.
See, I would like to hear from like an Oregon band member. So if we have any Oregon band members listening,
come on,
please,
debate
like,
us.
Yeah, no, please, like, are these super comfy? Are your uniforms super comfortable? Like, they look really comfy, even if they don't look like marching band uniforms, in my opinion. Like, I want to hear from you. Like, hit me up. Let's talk about this.
Definitely like tweet at us. Let us know what your uniforms are. But I would definitely say that, you know what, I agree the Oregon uniforms are not the best ones in the world. But for my favorite, I'm gonna go in a different direction from a lot of you guys. And I'm gonna say that the Princeton uniform, and as a Rutgers alum, saying anything good about Princeton's really hard.
No.
You're a Rutgers alum?
True. What? I'm a Rutgers alum? What? No, but the Princeton uniforms are just like, I did.
Wow.
The Princeton uniforms, it's like this plaid orange jacket, white shirt, black tie, and the like slacks. I think they're like green. I don't know. I'm looking at a picture right now. I honestly can't tell. My monitor's colors are a little weird. But like, it just, and they've got like this nice little like hat. It's just a really funky uniform. Like the Ivy League uniforms are very
Weird.
non-traditional
They're
band.
weird.
They're funky, but that's like what the Ivy League bands are. They are weird, funky little things that have nothing to do with anything.
It's exactly what you would expect from an Ivy League school, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you think Ivy League, you think nice, clean, proper, and that's exactly what their band is. Absolute fools and buffoonery, and I love their attitude.
So with band, I'm gonna make it quick. LSU is my favorite, and or Stanford, because I just love. I mean, Stanford's just the best because they're.
They don't have
weird
a
and
uniform.
obnoxious. That's why it's great. I
Sure.
love weird and obnoxious stuff because I'm weird and obnoxious. Enough said. Oregon's uniforms suck. Sorry, Oregon, fight me.
All right, Oregon.
Debate on the
please,
pod.
please do
Yeah.
better. We want to like
Yeah.
you. Well, Savannah doesn't want to
Well,
like you. but
okay,
we want to
okay.
like
I
you.
would like
Go
you
Ducks.
if you're a nice person, but I will never forgive you for wearing that ugly O on your jersey.
We had another question, and it goes like this. If you could go to any other university and be in any other band program, which would you pick? There's also a follow-up to this question, so.
Oh, I want to go first on this one.
All right,
It's
Alex, you can go
Stanford.
first.
There's no way that it's not Stanford. I want to be a part of that madness. That looks like the best experience. Like there's literally a photo of someone drinking a Budweiser, basically like right on the sideline right before halftime. Like, whoo! Just like the amount of like not caring that they have, the audacity that they have. Shout out audacity. Just God, that looks like so much fun.
Okay, Hannah?
I think I would do Michigan, just because I love Michigan. And this is gonna sound edgy because I literally just slammed on their uniforms, but Ohio State always.
Oh
does
my
really
God,
good
Hannah.
show.
Nah, that's
Not their
cut.
fault. Their uniforms aren't cute.
Hey, yo, that's cap.
Hannah wants to march in the band, but not
I'll
wear
wear
the
my
uniform.
B&B uniform when I march in the band. Their band was like my first like real experience of like seeing a college marching band. I remember seeing their Trip to the Movies show, and I was just like blown away. So that just always like stuck with me. I think it'd be super cool just to be in their band for like just one game or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing like the videos of all their like cool shows when I was younger, and like I play a woodwind, so like that dream went out the window like really fast. It was never really a dream, it was like a thought, you know, like it was in there.
So I'll go next. I know I've said this before, but I really like Georgia. Maybe not the state as much, but I do like their
Oh, dang.
traditions. Like whenever they do the Red Out, I've never been able to go. Some of my friends went our freshman year. But I think they have a cool band. I like dogs. I wish I did. Well, just kidding. I don't wish I played brass, but I wish I could also play.
Yes, you do.
It's true.
I wish
Everybody
I could
wants to
also
be a
play
You wish you were
brass.
part of
That way I
Melbourne.
could like be a part of like DCI or like go to like an HBCU band where it's just brass. I know some of them also have woodwinds, but that'd be cool. If not, Auburn's cool. For basketball, I'd love to be part of Duke because I know a lot of people hate Duke, but I'd love to be a part of Duke.
No. Greg, you're up.
Yeah. I've been very quiet because I've been thinking about this one. I do not know. So I don't know. Part of me is like, I'd want to be in the Ohio State band because you know every brass player in college band is like, ooh, the Ohio State band. I want to be in that one. But like, I'm not good enough. I know that. I understand that. If I'm not mistaken, from when I had spoken to Braden Deemer, current drum major of Ohio State. I hope you're listening, Braden. Hope you're having a good day, dude. I think he said that they have like sometimes up to 700 people auditioning. I'm not good enough to make the cut. So I'm not even
But
gonna
you
say
could like
that.
suspend
So you know what?
reality for this.
I mean, okay, if I could suspend reality, sure, but you know what? That's not a possibility. So instead, I'm gonna go to a place that I've heard great things. Dome, Sweet Dome. UNI go Panthers. not necessarily just for the bet, but because of the dome.
Yes.
Specifically
Correct
for
answer.
Dome,
Just
Sweet
the
Dome.
dome.
I want to play in the
Correct
dome.
answer.
UNI.
Also,
Pat.
honorary mention George Mason, the Green Machine.
Oh,
That
yeah.
looks like a time and a
basketball.
half.
I forgot to say a pet band, and literally, it's the Green Machine. I would give anything.
Yeah, Pep. And
Having-
I would do.
They're so
Yeah,
cool.
Jimmy or Duke.
They're so cool.
Pepe,
So-
I would not go anywhere. I can't leave Steve Pike
Oh
alone.
no, you can. It's quite easy.
My beloved
No,
coach.
it's
Nope.
quite easy.
Nope.
Savannah, do you have a
Nope.
quick pep band you would want to be in?
I would like to be in my own pep band because I haven't had the opportunity yet.
Get Savannah
no.
and UW pep band.
Yeah, I will eventually.
Yeah. Okay. So my pick for the marching band that I would want to be in is very similar to Hannah's. I really liked the Michigan band, especially watching their episode of Take the Field and talking with Kelly Bertoni, who is their former drum major. Hi, Kelly. Seems like a really cool time, and I would love to be a part of that. In terms of pep band, I'm with Savannah on this one. I would really like to be in Boiler Brass eventually. It's a dream. Hopefully we can make it next
Jason
year.
for Boiler Brass.
So follow-up question. Craig already answered it, but similar question. If you had to pick a band from the pods schools to join, which would you choose?
I have an answer. I would go to UNI. I think that'd be really cool. I would definitely go to the Dome.
I'd go to
It's like-
UW. I couldn't go to Rutgers. I couldn't hold myself to go to Rutgers. I'm sorry, Craig.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I answered the other question of like which marching band I would go to.
You did it.
So
You would go to UW.
so here's the thing is that I was gonna say the same thing. I'm kind of on the same page as Jason and Hannah because I really enjoyed the Take the Field episode with Michigan. And I like saw like a bunch of like similarities between our programs, like UW's programs in Michigan. So I was like, oh, that would probably be like a pretty like fun thing. But also in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe I want to do something that's a little bit different. So I was thinking about other bands that were featured on Take the Field, and I was thinking about Westchester University. And I really enjoyed that episode, and I think that would be something very different. That would be really interesting. But yeah, so if I was to pick a podcast host band, I would definitely go to UNI. I think that'd be cool. Stay with the purple and gold.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can beat tailgating, and also I've never been to a Mariners game, and I want to be in a place where I can go see a Mariners game. So I'm going to Seattle. There is not a question.
That's so fun. I literally didn't think anyone was gonna be like
Dome.
UNI, so I feel very loved.
Dome.
Dome. I think if I was gonna go, I've been thinking about this. If I was gonna go to another school, I think it's gonna be a tie between two of them. The first one would be Mizzou. Because Mizzou, everyone seems like they're having a really great time. Your guys' uniforms are really cute. Oh my goodness, my second one. It's hard because like I like things about all of them. It's UW. Because
Yeah!
gold go.
Go Dogs! That's the
See,
trumpets right there.
Okay,
If you want to see a
Everyone
top 10
knows.
basketball team.
Hannah hates the Big Ten.
She does.
Hey, wait. So Jason, where did you say?
I haven't said yet.
So wait. So who said? So
Purdue.
Hannah, you said.
Purdue
It's
was
just-
going to be my runner-up to those two.
Oh, that's fine. None of y'all need
just
to go to
been Hannah
Maryland.
and Savannah.
Wait, we made the podium. That's all I can.
Okay, so
that's
who's
fine.
gone? So Craig's gone, Savannah's gone, Hannah's gone. Annabelle, did you go yet?
No, I was gonna
Okay.
go next.
Okay, so y'all.
What's
So
the
you two have to
question?
go.
This is kind of hard for me. I am kind of with Hannah. It would be I've never played in a dome before, but also her team is very good, and I think that would be cool to go to postseason stuff. You know, Craig knows the
Yep.
feeling.
But it's
those
an
L's.
FCS team. You should go to an FBS team.
Why should you have to go to an FBS team? What's not good? What's not as fun
Bowl
about FBS?
games. Bowl games.
So we
I'm talking about basketball. I'm talking about
Wouldn't know.
basketball right now
Ooh.
because their basketball team's really good.
That's
Ooh.
Eliminated. UW has been eliminated from the conversation. I felt like there was
So-
like America's Got Talent, like Red X. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so like for basketball, I think it'd be cool to go to UNI. I don't know how I totally feel about gold and purple, but that'd be cool. If not, I don't know if I want to say Purdue because you guys don't have feathers like on your Shakos.
We do. We have a
I thought you
plume.
told me you
We call them
didn't.
birds, but no, we do. We just don't have Shakos.
No
we
one's
have
gonna say
hats.
Maryland, and I love it.
But
No,
No,
no one's
Good.
gonna say Maryland.
other than
Good.
your guys' turtle, but sailgating does sound cool. But if I was in the band, then I wouldn't be able to sailgate. So
You could just like pretend to be.
Wait,
in
so
them.
so your final answer is UNI? You went through kind of all the bands
I
there.
like all of them. I'm gonna do like a rotation.
Like an exchange
Yeah.
program.
Was that an option?
I made it one.
Well, in that case, I'm picking all but Maryland.
Good. We don't want you there. Get out of here.
Okay,
Good.
all right. Okay, so mine, I wanted to say you and I, because again, it would be cool to play in a
You and
dome,
I.
but Hannah hates
I
the Big
don't hate
Ten.
the Big Ten.
And
Jason,
Hannah
Jason,
is
go to
just
another
against
Big
us
Ten
this whole
school.
episode.
Jason, go to
You know
another
you
Big
love
Ten
it.
school. Do it, Jason.
Jason, no, go to you and I.
SEC.
You
It just
know you
means
wanna go to
more.
you and I.
Unfortunately, I
No, it
don't really
doesn't.
want to go to Maryland
That's
or
fine.
Rutgers.
It just
We
means
don't want
more.
you there.
It just means more.
Annabelle, you didn't really show our band much love.
You were like, I didn't get enough time. But you got
Okay,
black
okay.
and gold.
But here, anyway, my answer would be I want to be in the University of Washington band. I think that band seems really cool, and it's in an area that I've never been to.
Jason,
in the
you can go to
country.
Mariners games.
And it's like it's been part of a conference where I have like no idea what they do in that conference.
Me neither.
Besides play very good games.
Besides
Yeah, they
Joe-
just play really late at
Greg.
night.
Okay. So my next question: if you had to march/play any other instrument, what would it be?
Saxophone.
That's not an answer. You don't get to choose that. Can't be
All
a
right,
saxophone.
then I'm not playing.
Wow.
All right, cool.
I
Next.
would be a member of #Mellow Gang.
Because
Because I think the mellophones always have you guys always have really, at least in the music we play, you guys always have really cool parts. And like there's always like a cool kind of counter melody or like these cool like rips up to notes that are just epic sounding. And like I just think the mellophones are cool. So Mellow Gang.
I guess I'll go next. I would be a trombone player, because one, trombone players have the most fun in the band. I don't care what anybody else says, it's true. Plus their parts, I feel like their parts are similar to mellow parts in terms of like how fun they are to play. At least in terms of listening, like there are some fire trombone parts out there. And I think that it'd be fun to play if I could figure out the whole slide thingy.
I can go.
next?
This is kind of hard. So I did, as like a part of music ed, I got to do like a whole bunch of different instruments. And one of my favorite was like flute and percussion. I don't think I'd like to play piccolo though. So I'll go with percussion. It would be so much fun. I would love it. But I also do like the trombone. I don't know. I feel like I fit more of like the personality of a drummer than a trombone, but like the slide, they just sound so good. Especially like if you have a solo singer and a solo trombone, very good.
Yeah, I think if I was to pick like a different instrument than piccolo, I would go to the like exact opposite of the spectrum and do a sousaphone. It's like the antithesis of the piccolo. I think I would do that. But yeah, I think I would go with like a brass instrument in general, just because it's different. And that one kind of seems interesting because I think about our sousaphones and their choreo, and that would be fun.
Well, mine would probably be. I really do like trombones, and I like how like you pretty much look cool whenever playing trombone because of that slide. And there's a lot of cool creative stuff you can do when doing choreo with that slide. But I really wanted to be a snare drummer in high school. That's how I ended up playing mellophone. Different story. But yeah, I'd probably want to be a snare drummer.
I think that should be our segue into embarrassing band moments.
So many embarrassing band. It's impossible to pick just one because I feel like I've had so many.
I think I've got my number one.
You go
I don't
ahead,
think
Greg.
I've had a
You
lot.
lead us off.
All right. So my number one, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the blackout game my junior season.
Is this for football or for
Um,
basketball? Okay.
Football.
Yes.
No, there is no shame in the rack. There's no shame in basketball. My most embarrassing moment. So it was like the third to last set of the show we're in, and the entire form shifted 8 steps to the right, and then the block condenses. But like the form didn't change, and so I just forgot the one move where we shift 8 steps to the right. So I'm just sitting out there, and then my last move is I go left really fast to get just to like condense the block as like a few trumpets like step off the sideline and go like screaming way above the staff, and it's just like this massive power chord. So anyway, like musically, I don't screw that up, but everyone's just kind of going at like a nice little pace this way, and then I just go pew, right forward. Luckily, I was in the front row, so I didn't hit anybody. But also, I was in the front row, so everybody saw.
Oh no.
And then afterwards, I was right next to my section leader, who's also like my best friend. And like I stepped off, and it was like, nice, nice. And the thing is that like I made that mistake during rehearsal too. And as we were like marching onto the field, I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna forget that last move or that second to last move. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And then we're going through the show. I'm thinking of everything that I have to do, and I don't do it. And that was my most embarrassing story that I can think of.
I don't have one. I'm proud of everything that I've done because I do
wish.
stupid stuff on purpose.
Wow. All right. Well,
Hashtag No Shame November.
goodness. I feel like I've had a lot of them. There's one that for my You and I listeners, there's one that they think I'm good. I'm not going to tell the 8 to 5 story because that's a whole experience. So that is a story for another day. I'm not going to go with that. So one of my embarrassing was, it was this season. So for my job, my like leadership position with the PNB, I do like our videography and a lot of our marketing stuff. So for Veterans Day this year, we did a version of the Armed Forces salute, and I was supposed to I set up my cameras and stuff up in the box, and so I set my camera up, started it, went back down to the field, and I was staying in my spot. And the way the dome is set up is they moved some of the ladders, so if you want to get up to the press box where I film, you have to go all the way to one of the end zones, up the stairs, cut across the bleachers, and then go straight up. And I was in the backfield just for how we were set up this year. So I'm chilling in the backfield, and then my watch starts buzzing that somebody is trying to call me just as Mertz is counting us off to start this recording. So then I hit end call, and then I check my watch, and the camera stopped. So I had to one of our GAs was walking past me, and he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "The camera stopped." And because we're on a time limit in the dome because of COVID, I had to sprint off the field and sprint up to the top of the box to try and get the camera started again. So then the whole band had to wait, and everybody just had to sit there and watch me haul it up into the bleachers to start the camera. And I turned around at one point, and and Mertz trying to make small talk. I think it was hard to hear because of the echo. But everybody was just staring at me, and I was like, "Oh no."
I don't. When I was thinking about this, I couldn't really think of many, or any. So that's kind of good, I guess, unless I just don't realize the stupid things I do. But there are kind of some. So during basketball, there were a couple times where so I have the clarinet, I would accidentally hit my face with the clarinet because I was doing a horn move. I don't know what I was doing, but I would just hit my face and then look around, and there's thousands of people in the stadium. I was like, I hope nobody saw that, or I hope the camera was, because they come in and they zoom in right on us. And I was like, oh my God, I hope nobody saw that. So I'd look around to see if I made eye contact with anyone. But something I was really embarrassed about was we were on our way, I think it was Kentucky last year pre-COVID, for a football game. And so we leave in the middle of the day since we have the bus there. And so I get on the shuttle to head to our marching band field to get on the bus. And I sit down and I'm like, okay, I got everything, got my neck pillow, I got my snacks, I'm all ready. And then our director was like, okay, everyone, make sure you put your instruments underneath the bus. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I look around and I'm like, my clarinet is not on the bus. And I started freaking out because I was like, we're going to leave in 15 minutes. And I didn't have a car with me. And so I was like, oh my God. I was like, she can't know. She's going to cut my head off. And I thought she was going to. But luckily someone had a car there. So then they have to drive me to campus. It's only a couple minutes. But our campus is closed to vehicles during the day because there's so many pedestrians. So she had to park on the other side of campus. And then I had to sprint for 10 minutes to get to our fine arts building where my locker was, my clarinet was. And then I had to sprint back, and then we had to get back in the car and go back on the bus, and then I had to try and put my clarinet underneath. And she was like, where were you guys? And I was like, I forgot my clarinet But she was okay with it because I didn't forget it for the trip. But I was so embarrassed. I just like sat down in my chair and I was like, "You're so idiotic." I was like, "You're so stupid." But thankfully, I realized before we left because then I think I would have got yelled at.
That happened to me. I was
Yeah, probably would have been a little worse.
one time I was walking to rehearsal and I got all the way to the dome and I was like, you know what I didn't bring today to this game? I did not bring my trumpet. That is the worst feeling.
I feel like a piccolo is so small that I always just like, I'll stick it in my backpack. It literally like fits in the side pocket of my backpack. So I just like take my backpack and I'm like on my way. And then sometimes I'll just have to like double check. I probably double check like 3 or 4 times on my way walking down to the stadium.
If I don't leave my house without my clarinet, I'm like, what am I forgetting? Because I always have to hold it because it can fit in a backpack, but not with anything else. So then like whenever we went to volleyball games where we weren't playing and I just like showed up, I was like, this is wrong. It goes against every fiber of my being.
My most embarrassing moment. It's not that bad, all things considered. Like it didn't happen during a game, but we have on game days we have morning rehearsal in full uniform, and that includes our plumes. We call them birds, but that includes our plumes and everything. And we were doing pregame, and we did run out onto the field, and my bird flew straight out of my hat and landed right next to me for fanfare. And I dropped down, I was trying to put it back in.
No, we don't need witnesses.
The person next to me, who's actually my current roommate.
Yeah, reenact.
He saw me struggling, so he came over, stepped out of the block, and both of us were just trying to like stick my bird back into my hat while everyone's like standing still playing fanfare. And we know like our next set's coming because we play Wabash Cannonball and make the train afterwards. So we got to get it before we start moving. So we're both frantically like, I took my hat off, we're like trying to stick it back in. And the whole band, everyone just like, oh my god, look at those two. And I'm sure someone saw it because no one's moving. There's 2 people like trying to screw in a light bulb essentially, and it was just it was very embarrassing. But he became section leader, so I guess it might have looked good.
I don't think I have a couple embarrassing moments. So the one I can think of like right now though is I'm reminded because my background is the football stadium right now. And it was like early September. I don't remember what we were rehearsing for. I think it might have been our like VA game, and it was pouring. It was pouring outside, and we were practicing in Husky Stadium. And we were actually in this formation. We were in the flag formation, and piccolos hold the flag. The flag didn't come out because it didn't want to get wet and all gross because it's a humongous flag. And so I'm just standing there. And there's this drum cadence that happens after we do like the patriotic songs where the flagpole kind of goes in this pattern and then forms a tunnel into like where the football team will run out. And I had downtime, like the Pics had downtime. We just had to like saunter over to the tunnel because we weren't folding a flag. And I'm just messing around. I don't know what I was doing, but it was pouring and it was slippery, and I'm dancing with I'm looking at my friend Tiffany across the field because she was on the other side, and we're like doing this stupid dance or something, and I just bit it. I slipped and like face planted right into the Husky like stadium field, and it was so embarrassing because I look up and I see the entire side of the tunnel, not the entire side, but it felt like it. They're all turned around looking at me. They're like, "Are you okay?" Obviously, I was like cracking up laughing because it was hilarious, but also like. Everybody's already in the tunnel formation, and I'm just on the ground, like it's pouring. I'm cold, and like my glasses are foggy, and I have my Nerf pellets all over my face now. And it was, I'll never forget that. That was really funny.
I have. Is there footage of this?
Oh, if only. But there's witnesses, but there's no footage because we were rehearsing.
Reenactment.
All right. Well, we have. How many more questions do we have here?
I think that actually wraps up our questions.
Yeah, it does. All right.
Yes. Thank you to everybody who like submitted those. We'll try and do another one of these, maybe after the season's done, our break between seasons, just because we love like getting to answer whatever questions you guys have. So yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, okay. So I think so. Hannah, where can people find this beautiful podcast that we do?
You can find us on Twitter at College Band RDO. You can find us on Instagram at College Band Radio, and you can find us on YouTube at College Band Radio if you want to watch the video version of the podcast.
which is always entertaining. And again, thanks to all of you. I mean, this has been 8 episodes of this. We can't thank everyone enough for the support, especially college marching. I know it's, Thanksgiving's already over, so we hope that you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Keep an eye out for our merch coming out soon.
Yes.
Keep in mind.
As you're doing some Christmas shopping, like thinking about what you might want, just know we're going to have some cool merch coming for you guys very soon. So make sure you're watching our social media pages for information about that.
Yeah. So from all of us, stay safe, stay healthy. Please wear a mask, and we'll talk to you guys next week for episode 9.